Believe it or not, this thing is a computer. If you've seen any of our other videos, it'll come as no great surprise to find that the design is a combination of something brand new and something rather old. It uses an optical illusion to make a transparent display appear to be floating inside the glass dome. This video will walk you through how to build one of your own, as well as how to get your hands on the one that we made. At the heart of this machine is a 16GB Raspberry Pi 5. Combine it with a round LED screen, a glass dome, some transparent acrylic, tiny bit of basic maths, and you end up with the quirkiest of computers. This wasn't our first design. We thought we'd found the perfect candidate for housing the Raspberry Pi 5, hiding in the recycle bin of our local hardware store. The only problem was the radio worked perfectly fine, and repurposing a working radio felt rather wasteful. Ideally, we wanted to make something anyone could build without the need for fishing through bins. We also noticed that the radio was sufficiently nice to be part of a Tech Bro backdrop, so it now lives happily on a shelf in our office. So we went back to the drawing board. Almost no design is truly original. We see echoes of the past in many modern classics. For example, the 2001 iPod design borrows heavily from the 1950s Braun radios. Sharp eyes will notice a similarity between what we've made and the early 1900s stock tickers. These tickers provided stock prices via a telegraph line that ran to your office. The wire sent signals that the machine decoded into 3-letter stock codes and numbers. The ticker then printed these codes onto a thin paper ticker tape. In our design, the glass dome will be housed in a display. The display uses the same principle as an old haunted house illusion, known as Pepper's Ghost. The illusion works by displaying an image on a source that is reflected by a transparent piece of material. If you want to see it done beautifully, have a look at Joshua Ellingson's work. We'll pop a link in the description. The shape of the reflector inside the dome is calculated by using a touch of algebra. Don't worry, you can ignore what is essentially a 10-second mathematical side quest. The reflector is placed at an angle of 45 degrees to the screen to minimise any distortion and show an accurate version of what is on the source. For a reflector that sits in the glass at 45 degrees to the screen, the intersection of the screen's plane and the dome forms an ellipse. If we call the radius of the glass dome r, then the ellipse we need to cut has a width of 2r multiplied by the square root of 2 and a height of 2r. After building the computer, we realised the best reflector angle actually depends on the position you're viewing it from. If the computer is at eye level, then 45 degrees is the best angle for the reflector. However, if the computer is on your desk, then an angle of 30 degrees is better. We've made an online shape calculator which lets you choose the reflector angle. It then provides you with a downloadable image of the shape that you need. Our acrylic was laser cut, but you could just trace a shape onto some clear plastic and cut it with a pair of scissors. The next assembly step is adding a cooler to the Pi 5, plus a heatsink base for good measure. These are optional, but a fanless Pi 5 will quickly throttle itself to cool down, and we definitely do not want that. The screen gets connected using the DSI connection and is placed on top of the Pi. The device can now be powered using the USB-C port on the screen. The port is positioned in a way that means that you can fit the cable into the base more easily. When you watch videos of the Pepper's Ghost illusion, they are often filmed from an angle that avoids showing the source image, which is reflected by the transparent insert. We got around this by adding a privacy shield to the screen so that the source image was no longer visible. Finally, we designed a couple of parts in FreeCAD to make a base for the dome to hide away the various electronic giblets. We then painted the base black and the rim to look like brass. For the software, we just made a couple of tweaks in the operating system config file so that the Pi knows to enable the new screen. The round display needs to be inverted and flipped to compensate for getting reflected inside the dome. You can do this with a single command. And that's it. The build is complete and we're pretty much done. The finished device is a surprisingly nimble desktop computer. As a reality check, we got it to run Blender. Blender is a 3D modelling application that makes graphic cards sweaty. Our machine doesn't even have a graphics card, so expectations are low. As expected, it's frustratingly slow. I was once told that people could be split into two categories, young thrusters and old strokers. Think of this machine as a third category, the young stroker.
I don't even have any good skills.
A solid and steady performer capable of spectacular things. We're not sure what the best use case is for a computer with no video card and 16 gigabytes of memory, but this is the internet, so we're confident that someone will tell us in the comments.
Wing out the GIMP.
The screen under the dome can act as a single display, or you can use it as a second monitor that forms part of the graphical desktop. This way you can show anything you like on the dome by dragging it from the desktop to the second screen, or by using the dome command. Here's a few other examples of things you can show on the dome. One of our personal favourites is a music visualizer. We'll be giving this one away. If you like it, then leave a short poem about delicious waffles in the comments. We'll pick our favourite one and send you the full kit, including the 16GB Raspberry Pi 5, wherever you are in the world. Otherwise, we'll put all the files and instructions in our GitHub so you can easily build one yourself. Build it, win it, or just admire it. Let us know what you'd put inside the dome. Thanks for watching.